Casey, Executive Director of the School Administrators Association of New York State, otherwise known as SANES. On behalf of the SANES Board of Directors and staff, I first wish to congratulate our award winners and acknowledge their contribution to educational excellence. By setting and meeting high standards, you have raised the performance bar for all administrators, and ultimately it is the students that benefit from that. I also want to share the disappointment we feel in not being able to congratulate and celebrate New York State's exceptional school administrators with our traditional annual awards banquet in Albany. It is one of the highlights of the year for me to hear firsthand the experiences of our award winners. Our 2020 award winners were selected very early in this unprecedented year when no one could have predicted what was to come. These leaders are exemplars of their profession. It has been no surprise to see them rise to the unbelievable challenges before them, just as all of you have been challenged to do. From Long Island to Niagara, we have seen communities come together in the face of numerous hardships and challenges to assure the safety and prosperity of our students. Today, in addition to acknowledging our award winners, we also acknowledge all of you, school leaders around the state, who have led that charge. Please join me in this video salute to several of our state's most outstanding school and community leaders. I wish them and all of you strength, courage, and good health as you continue the very challenging work ahead. It is my sincere belief that New York schools and students are in the very best of hands. Thank you for your continued professionalism.
My name is Felicia Thomas Williams, and I'm the principal of Brentwood West Middle School in Suffolk County, Long Island. I'm honored to have been chosen as the SANES Secondary Principal of the Year for 2020. Award recipients were asked to share our thoughts about a few things. One question was, what opportunities has this time offered you and your educational team? And the other, what has been the greatest leadership lessons learned during this pandemic? I was a participant in a panel of administrators in the SANES Connect workshops, and one of my fellow presenters shared a statement about how, in the midst of every crisis lies a great opportunity. I dug a little and found out that that particular quote came from Albert Einstein. He really was a genius. When we began our COVID response in my district, our first responders dealt with a community that had very different sets of priorities than many, if not most. Most of our students did not have devices, and although it was important to get them what they needed to learn, what was more important was that they had meals each day and a team of caring people to help them navigate their way through a pandemic that saturated this community and left much devastation in its path. COVID took the lives of caregiving guardians of 6 of the students in my building alone in the first 2 months that we were in quarantine. The opportunities that I'm most grateful for as a result of this unique year has been the opportunity to promote more of a team spirit among my staff and colleagues. We had no choice but to rely on each other and trust each other enough to find comfort and confidence in the decisions we had to make, often on the fly and ever changing. We've built friendships around self-care and preservation. I welcome the positive technological shifts that I expect to come out of this. We've been forced to leave our comfort zones, and we are and will continue to be better for it.
Hi everyone, my name is Kristen Lennon McMahon. I am the class assistant principal for Shenandoah High School West. I feel pretty honored to be able to speak to everybody here today. I wish you all a great day and I hope you all have great school years. We were asked a few questions, so I just want to share some thoughts with you. For the first question, what is a lesson that I have learned from this pandemic? For me, it re-emphasized the importance of relationship building, and we really needed to call upon the relationships we built before and the relationships we're creating with new students to help everybody be successful. And it really goes a long way just to simply ask parents, students, teachers, support staff, how are you doing? How's your day going? Do you need anything? Those relationships mean everything. In addition, the other question I was asked was, crisis creates opportunities, and what opportunities has this time offered you and your team? For me, I think it's really special and amazing that we are making history right now. I really think 10, 15, 20 years from now, we're all going to be able to look back and say, you know what, we worked through the successes, we worked through the challenges, and we changed history. I do think education is going to change as we know it. I'm not 100% sure what that's going to look like. I don't think any of us are, but I do think virtual learning is going to stay here in some capacity, and we have all had a hand in how that is going to play out. So with that, those are my little tidbits for the day. I hope you all have a wonderful and successful school year. Be well, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sanies and Nice Kate, for allowing me the opportunity to say a few remarks here about my experience that I've had in this most unique past 8 months. So right here at this very dining room table, I sat doing my job as director of technology, and my wife sat at the other end of the table doing her job as a first grade teacher. We're in two different districts, but it was an eye-opening experience for me to watch what a teacher was going through at home to try to get the best possible instruction for her kids. She taught me a lot about how my job can help teachers and students. And I think she picked up a few tidbits from the director of technology and how to use the technology that was in front of her. It was quite a year. It still is quite a year. We're getting through it. In my district, we're lucky. Most of our kids are back in school in person part of the time, developing those relationships that Kristen talked about with their teachers, which is so important. So far, so good. We're going to plug along, and hopefully we'll get through the year and have a better 2021.
I'm honored to be able to share my thoughts with you as educators across New York are spending time together today to share and envision best practices. We started the year with the primary focus on keeping our students and staff safe and healthy and in reestablishing relationships. As we've been rethinking school, we're practicing new ways to lead, to teach, and to learn. Lately, I've been having conversations with my teachers and other administrators about how it's going, where we are right now, and where we want to go. Being in this current crisis has created opportunities which have nudged us to think more deeply about what matters most and what needs to be prioritized. To begin with, we have identified opportunities for deepening relationships and making connections as a major priority. As we pay closer attention and focus on the social-emotional needs of our students and ourselves, we're finding ways to build support systems and identify those in need of further assistance. We've also been given opportunities to strengthen collaboration and planning with our teachers and colleagues within our building and across district. Another opportunity we have been given is the chance to strengthen philosophies and to align curriculum and common practices as we move in and out of in-person and remote classrooms. This ensures that all students receive a consistent and solid program. We've all certainly been grappling with how to keep schools open and manage the responsibilities of these daily challenges. This time has offered an opportunity to reflect on the essentials, to rethink our goals and our view of sustainable practices for leading, teaching, and learning.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Warford, and I'm an assistant principal at the Bethlehem Central Middle School. And it's a true honor to be recognized as an outstanding middle-level administrator by Sanies. So thank you. One thing that I've learned through this crisis is not really a new lesson, but more of a reinforcement of the importance of clear communication. During the summer, as we prepared for our students' return, there were so many small details that needed to be put into place. Working with our custodial staff to prepare the building by removing and storing items in the building, putting safety measures into place, designating one-way traffic flows by marking the hallways, strategically placing cones outside for entry and dismissal, coordinating synchronized student drop-off and pickup with our students in our transportation department, reworking our entire master schedule and communicating new room assignments, as well as assigning staff to new positions. And then finally, communicating all of these changes to our parents in a way that helped them to feel confident that their children would be safe and that learning would continue. So clear communication was essential and really helped us to get to the positive place where we are now. An opportunity that presented itself during these unprecedented times was the utilization of staff in different ways. In the past, teacher aides would never contact parents at home to assist with organization or with work completion, but during our shutdown, we found that many students needed additional support with their distance learning. So we identified the most needy kids. We assigned teacher aides to each of them, and these aides were instructed to reach out to students and their parents through Google Meetings and through phone calls. They were also given access to student management system information that they hadn't been before, so that they could have real-time information about work completion and Google Meet attendance. So as a result, we have expanded the role of our teacher aides in their work as they support students this year. So I bet there will be more lessons that we will learn before this is over with. And I think that we're going to be better because of it. So again, I appreciate Sainys for the prestigious recognition for the work I do at the middle school.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Slabaugh, the principal of the Birchwood School, part of the Clarkstown Central School District. I'd like to thank Sainys for recognizing me for the work that I do here at Birchwood for the families, students, and staff. I'd also like to congratulate all the other award winners this year for their work on behalf of all the students in the state of New York. I'd like to thank Dr. Harriel, the principal of the Clarkstown High Schools North, for nominating me for this award. It is a great honor to be included with other professionals. I've been asked to answer a couple of questions that Sainys posed to us about our leadership roles. The first question I thought was important was the greatest lesson that I learned during this pandemic. And that was obviously to take care of myself. I think as leaders in our building, we're worried about taking care of everybody else. And sometimes we neglect our own needs for the sake of others. And this pandemic has brought to light that there's nothing more important than our own health and the importance of taking care of that, our body, our mind, and our soul. And so as difficult as this situation is, it has brought some light to my understanding of my role in the building, of setting a good example and not just talking the talk. The other thing that they asked about was, what was the best professional advice I've ever been given? I think the best professional advice I was ever given was that it's most important to be right at the end of a meeting and not at the beginning of a meeting. We go into groups and meetings with preconceived ideas about what's the best thing to do, but we need to enter those meetings with an open mind and willingness to listen to others. And the most important thing is to come out with the best possible answer and conclusion at the end of the meeting. And so I would like to thank my mentor, Dr. Howard Mandel and Mr. Jeff Sobel, for providing me with that information and their experience. As I said, it is an honor to be recognized by Sainys for the work that I do. And it is truly an honor to be part of such an outstanding group of people. Be well, everyone. Stay healthy and have a very happy Thanksgiving.
Good day. My name is Ricky, and I'm so excited. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you personally, but to all my Sainys family, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for honoring me with this award. Thank you that you are having a wonderful conference, because if you're seeing this, you are involved in a conference and you're learning and applying those things that you've learned to apply them in your various schools and your school districts. So thank you on behalf of the students of New York State. So I've been asked to just talk about two topics real quick so that you can get back to your conference. One is, in general, do you think that the education is shifting post pandemic? And the answer is an absolutely resounding yes. Certainly with the pandemic, we have been challenged to go with virtual learning, whether we were ready or not. We have marched to that occasion of districts all across New York State as well as the nation. And post-pandemic, particularly when I think about New York State schools, and you know that in New York State we can get snow. So even after the pandemic, I can see snow days becoming a thing of the past, because again, when we know if a storm is coming, we can certainly equip our students in those districts that have Chromebooks and tools to do learning at home. We will be able to quickly shift into that mode. So again, I just think in the future, definitely the pandemic has changed the way we learn, the way we shift our schedules. So yes, we will have to be prepared, and we will be prepared to serve our students in New York State. The second thing is, what is the greatest leadership lessons that we have learned during this time? For me, it's collaboration. No matter what our role is in our schools, from principal to the janitor, we've all come together to meet the needs of our students. And so in that, for me, that leadership lesson of collaboration, working together, rings so true, because we've done things like answer calls, emailed families, made sure that students were able to get packets to learn. Here in the Rochester City School District, we were involved in feeding our students. So we had food places in our schools. So again, collaboration is for me a leadership lesson that I am living, and I'm sure you're living it in your districts. Again, I just wanted to thank you and take a few minutes to just give you a few words of impact of how the pandemic has personally affected me and the work that I do on behalf of the students in New York State. I wish you well for the rest of the conference, that you enjoy it, that you learn it, that you apply it, and that you continue to be well, and you have a wonderful Thanksgiving season. Thank you again for your time.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Dawkins, retired principal from the Rensselaer City School District, and this year's recipient of the Irving Schwartz Distinguished Retiree Award. First, I would like to acknowledge Ms. Jennifer Drouts, Forestville Middle School principal, and my friend and colleague from Rensselaer for nominating me for this award. Secondly, I want to thank Saney's Awards Committee for selecting me for this wonderful honor. And we have been asked to share 1 or 2 points regarding leadership. Having said that, it goes without saying that we are certainly in unprecedented times in education, which makes it necessary for us to gather together virtually. Even in these challenging and uncertain times, where we have to reimagine how we provide services to our children and our school communities, one thing still remains the same: leadership matters. What I mean by this, even now, we still must ensure that we hire the best people, provide them with the necessary resources, and remove whatever obstacles might impede their progress. In other words, get out of their way and let them do their jobs. A second bit of advice: I can't stress enough how important it is to make your own professional development a priority. Get involved in as many professional organizations as you can. Remain active in Saney's and take advantage of the top flight professional development programs, publications, and legal services they offer. Once again, thank you, Saney's, for this award. I am truly humbled. And congratulations to the other award recipients. I wish all of you good luck as you navigate your way through these trying times.